animal emergency goes behind the scenes at some of the most sophisticated veterinarian clinics in Singapore, revealing the dedicated work of these medical professionals as they save the lives of Singapore's cherished animals. On this week's show, cute animals arrive for their regular checkups in the zoo. But there's more than meets the eye.
By the time we actually notice that they're not well, they're actually quite sick.
A 1-year-old cat plunges 5 stories and survives, but just barely.
His injuries are very, very severe. We have to inform the owners he may not be the same cat ever again.
Then, a dog's life hangs precariously in the balance, and Dr. Lai has to decide whether to use a radical medical breakthrough to intervene.
Surgery should always be a last resort when all else fails.
Poobear is a 1-year-old cat who adores lounging in high places. But one day, with just a single misstep, tragedy struck. Hearing the cries, Poobear's owners quickly rushed to the void deck and, to their horror, found their feline bleeding from his legs and mouth. Poobear was quickly rushed to emergency help. It has been 24 hours since Poobear was admitted, but Dr. Landon isn't rushing to do anything yet.
We usually give them a day or two to recover from that initial high-energy trauma injury, just to get over that damage so that they're a much safer anaesthetic candidate.
After stabilizing his condition, Dr. Landon begins evaluating the damage.
He's very, very lucky to be alive. It was a very high fall.
Judging from Poobear's external injuries, Dr. Landon is especially concerned about possible lung damage. All eyes are now on the CT scan.
The force of them hitting the ground that energy will be transferred to their lungs, and it damages their lungs.
The CT scan results are out. No leakage of air in his lungs is detected, and no signs of lung tissue damage. What a relief. There is, however, bleeding in the mouth region. It might be a fractured jaw.
Good news is that these are relatively non-displaced, so the fragments haven't moved a great deal. So generally what I will do is usually won't do anything with these fractures. We'll usually just leave them. But the cat has to have very, very soft food for the next 6 to 8 weeks while these little fractures heal.
Although there is no major impairment to Poobear's jaw, Dr. Landon discovers something disturbing.
This part here is the end of the shoulder blade that joins to the shoulder here, and this part of the shoulder blade should be sitting up here. So it's almost like this part's fractured and displaced sideways. So we need to attach this part of the shoulder blade back to here.
If left untreated, Poobear will suffer nerve damage, and even worse, his limb may require amputation. Surgery is now the only option.
His injuries are very, very severe. We have to inform the owners he may not be the same cat ever again.
To Madame Cham, Poobear is more than just a pet. The cat is just like one of her sons. The mere thought of Poobear losing his leg is unbearable.
Can't live with it that don't do the surgery, then just amputate him. Have no choice, it's obvious. We have to proceed with the surgery.
The quest to save Poobear's limb begins. It becomes the longest 2 hours in Madam Cham's life. There's no guarantee that Poobear's limb will recover its full function, even after surgery.
We trust the doctor can help us save our cat.
Meanwhile, in an apartment on Bukit Timah Road, another disaster strikes. Buddy, a King Charles Cavalier, accidentally eats a toxic plant found in the garden. Noticing that her dog had become extremely ill and had difficulty breathing, Mrs. Aditi wastes no time rushing Buddy to Dr. Lai to uncover the problem. Mrs. Aditi waits anxiously for her turn, hoping that the vets will know what to do.
Buddy.
Dr. Lai, a vet with specialist experience in clinical nutrition, swiftly gets Buddy tested.
24,000, there's inflammation or infection going around somewhere. Something's going on.
The initial test results reveal that Buddy has contracted a liver disease from the toxic material he's eaten.
Why is Buddy having liver disease? I have no idea. Because, he's a young dog.
I've been giving him these krill oil and ubiquinol supplements. That should be fine.
Basically, in layman's term, the liver gets more and more cirrhotic. And because the toxins has entered the body and caused an incredible amount of insult over a long period of time. It wasn't an acute situation. It was a chronic situation.
If Buddy's condition is left untreated, he will die within months.
The liver is destroyed.
With no surgical treatment possible for this condition, Dr. Lai offers a radical new medical option using stem cell technology.
We have situations where we used them before and they've been successful. We usually recommend them again to clients that bring in animals that have similar conditions.
What is this alternative treatment, and will it work?
Surgery should always be a last resort when all else fails.
Meanwhile, Dr. Landon encounters problems during Poobear's shoulder construction surgery.
The back gets damaged during the surgery and the leg doesn't work properly anymore.
And at the zoo, exotic animals pop by for a visit, but the doctors are in no mood to be playful. These checkups are serious business. Buddy's liver is failing, and his doctors are working against time to save him. One possible treatment? To have stem cells transplanted into his body. Dr. Phan pioneered the use of stem cells in Singapore for wound healing back in 2004.
And here's a cell look like under microscope. And this cell is considered raw materials to make different kind of tissues, ranging from skin dermis to bone to cartilage to the muscles. And we can use this cell to repair the damage of the tissues if we want to.
This radical technology requires the growing of a new liver from embryonic stem cells that are harvested from the umbilical cords of newborn dogs. The concept of using stem cells to treat non-operable medical conditions in animals has provided promising results in development for the past few years. These cells are kept in liquid nitrogen at -200 degrees.
So as long as you maintain the liquid nitrogen, the cell will be here forever.
The cells are fed regularly with nutrients until they are required for insertion into the animal's body. To grow new and healthier cells of a dog's particular damaged organ from these stem cells would only take approximately 2 to 3 months. This treatment may sound like stuff from science fiction, but it's a process that's been delivering results. Dr. Phan, along with Dr. Lai, are confident this treatment can help Buddy.
If we keep growing this, there is no end to how much we can grow, and there has never been one incident where we had a mutation.
Inside each of these tubes are 10 million liver stem cells. They are being packed on ice, ready for delivery to Dr. Lai's clinic. Back at Landon's clinic, the doctor is ready to begin Poobear's shoulder reconstructive surgery.
So there's a very large nerve that runs right at that area called the suprascapular nerve. And if that gets damaged during the surgery, then all the leg muscles can waste away and the leg doesn't work properly anymore. So we have to be very careful operating around that area.
Dr. Landon must first try to locate the fracture before he can secure a titanium L-plate to fix Poobear's shoulder. But the vet is still having difficulties realigning Poobear's broken bones.
Probably going to give it maybe another 15-20 minutes, and if we couldn't, we would just perhaps even have to consider amputating the limb.
Time is running out, and Poobear has been under anesthesia longer than anticipated. Over at the Singapore Zoo, things are fortunately less tense. Some adorable visitors have booked appointments with veterinarians Dr. Serena Oh and Dr. Ng Weng Yen. Tong, a Duke Langur monkey from the forest of Vietnam, and the lesser spotted mouse deer from India are scheduled for their regular routine health check. But here, there's never any room for complacency.
Our major concern is that he may be harboring some illness, so we have to always observe his breathing and then his heart rate as well. By the time we actually notice that they're not well, they're actually quite sick.
It's stained, but they're not like very worn or
That's what we do then.
Next, the doctors embark on a tricky job that's certainly not suited for anyone with unwieldy hands.
We have a long history of having small problems taking blood from mouse deer because their veins, they're very small animals, so their veins are quite small, and their skin is very tough as well, so it's quite difficult to get enough blood from them.
Routine checkups though these may be, they are still paramount in preventing the spread of disease in this wildlife park that boasts more than 2,800 animals. The doctors are meticulous throughout.
He's alright. Lungs are normally black in color because it's air-filled. You see a bit of pattern and all that's alright.
You know, they can get bloat in their gut if they eat food that's too high in carbohydrates or things like fruit. They can pick up bits of scraps on the ground, so if there's, you know, out in the wild, potentially they come across plastic or fabric or anything like that, they can eat that, and that can actually block their gut as well.
For Tong and the mouse deer, the process is over in no time. They are certified healthy and return to their playground. Next, Buddy undergoes radical stem cell treatment. But will his liver recover?
We have now the capabilities of growing our own stem cells, and these are excellent stem cells.
Now in progress, Poobear's surgery. To fix Poobear's badly fractured shoulder, Dr. Landon will be inserting a titanium L-plate to secure the limb together. This is a delicate procedure. The surgery is taking longer than expected.
pea-sized clamshells.
Poobear's shoulder blade keeps slipping, even under Dr. Landon's nimble hands. This makes the placing of the L plate almost impossible.
It took a little longer than what we thought, but it was quite a difficult fracture because the fragments were quite displaced and the muscles that were holding onto the fragments were quite contracted, so it took a while to try and get the fragments lined up. So the repair did take a lot longer.
Back at Dr. Lai's clinic, vet nurse Naomi prepares the frozen stem cells needed to treat Buddy.
We have now the capabilities of growing our own stem cells, and these are excellent stem cells. These are embryonic stem cells, species specific. That means we have stem cells for dogs, we have stem cells for cats. And you can sit on that. Because
Buddy's stem cell treatment commences.
for this particular case, I think we have another 10 million because they're embryonic, so very, very primitive, very young.
For other organ injuries that require similar treatment, the stem cells are usually injected directly into the damaged organ. But for liver damage, it is dangerous to inject cells directly into the liver, and they have to be administered intravenously.
That goes in here.
Yeah, it's a bit full.
This has to be done little by little.
Shall we start?
The cells will travel to the liver. One can see damaged tissue in the liver. Then, new cells will replace the damaged cells. Slowly, over time, the damaged tissue recovers to its healthy state. There is no guarantee that this will work in Buddy's case, but at this stage, there's nothing to lose.
Okay, buddy. You're gonna be okay. It's all done, all finished. 50% of those stem cells will find itself into the liver and the liver reticular endothelial system, and they will start growing. I will do a blood test in 2 weeks' time.
For Buddy's owner,
track it.
Mrs. Aditi, it's a harrowing experience. She's hoping this revolutionary treatment will work.
He's been with Dr. Lai forever, so we really trust whatever he does.
While there is no miracle cure, the doctor hopes that with some luck, Buddy's liver will grow healthy cells, allowing him to live a happy life for years to come. Back at Landon Veterinary Specialists, Poobear has been sedated for almost 3 hours. His surgery took longer than estimated, but now everyone is relieved it's over. Poobear is immediately sent for his post-surgery scan.
Is that okay?
Reviewing the CT scan, Dr. Landon is satisfied with the placement of the titanium plate.
This is the L plate. It's now running alongside the upper part of the shoulder blade here, and the shoulder blade in contact with the neck. This was the fracture through the neck here, so it's now being held back in position by the plate.
Poobear will need to stay in this clinic for maybe a few more hours or overnight, depending on his recuperation, before being given the green light to go home.
When all this slowly recover, you feel good. We are just very looking forward to release him out again and play with him.
I tell everybody that we have 4 sons, 2 human and 2 canine.
All companion animals very dependent on the owner. As a responsible pet owner, these are kids. These are your kids. They never grow up, you know. They're never going to be independent. You know? You have to look after them for the rest of their lives. So if you have a pet now, that's your job. That's your responsibility. And that is called respect.